Good day. So we are the group who is assigned to install Linux Mint on VirtualBox. In this video, we will be going to demonstrate to you the proper installation of Linux Mint on VirtualBox in Windows 11. So the first step in this guide is to download Linux Mint ISO. So the first thing that we need to do is to open the preferred search engine, and in this video we'll be going to open Google Chrome as our search engine. Then we need to search download Linux Mint. The first link that appears is the link of what we need to download. So we need to click that. So this is the latest version of Linux Mint. It is the recommended version. In this version, there are different editions. We have Cinnamon, Xfce edition, and Mate edition. So in this demonstration, we'll be going to download the Cinnamon edition. Let's click download. And then it shows different mirrors. So we need to choose a mirror to start downloading the ISO file. There are different mirrors depending on location. There's a mirror in Canada, USA, Belarus, Belgium. But in this tutorial, we'll be going to download the global edition. So just click the first link. However, we have already downloaded the Linux Mint Cinnamon edition. So we don't need to download the additional ISO since we have it already in our download files. So we have to cancel these downloads. Now that we are done downloading, let us check the system requirements. So let's go back to our search and check na to ang system requirement kung unsa ang requirement sa kaning baling ISO. So in this link, in this edition, the Cinnamon edition, let's open this release announcement. So this page shows the requirements for your system to install Linux Mint. So the system requirement, it has to have a 2 GB RAM, at least 2 GB RAM. However, 4 GB is recommended for comfortable usage. And it requires a 20 GB of disk space, and 100 GB is recommended, and so on. So these are the basic system requirements to install. So since our machine that we are using today is capable of providing those requirements, so we are good to go. We don't need to install VirtualBox because we have already installed it since we have used it in our previous activities. So we just need to open VirtualBox. In this window, we need to create a new virtual machine. So we need to click this new button, and it opens a new window. It said create virtual machine. So there are different inputs here. It requires name, so we name this machine as Linux Mint. Then folder, so you can choose different folder, we can create one. However, let's just continue the default or the recommended folder. And then ISO image. In this input, we'll be going to add the downloaded ISO file. So we need to navigate to that file. So in the downloads here, this is the ISO file. So click that, open, and check the skip unattended installation for manual installation. Click next. Then we can allocate the necessary memory and processor for our virtual machine. So as recommended, 2 GB. However, in this installation, we'll be going to use 4000 MB or 4 GB, 4096 MB. And then for processors, we'll be allocating 2 processors or 2 CPU. And click next. Disk size or the storage, let's go with the default 25 GB. Let's click next. This is the summary. Our machine name is Linux Mint, folder, the ISO file. In hardware, we have 4 GB of memory, processor, 2 processors, and we have 25 GB disk size. So it is looking good, so we continue to install and click finish. After we have already configured our virtual machine, the next step is to start our virtual machine. So we need to select the newly created machine, VM, and then in the boot menu here, we need to select start. So we'll be starting a Linux Mint machine and wait for the system to load into live environment. So this is the live environment for the installation. So we begin the installation by clicking the install Linux Mint. So we click enter and proceed with the installation. After that, we are now logged to do the installation of Linux Mint. So we can check this Linux Mint if it is suitable for our machine. However, whatever we do or change in this window, it will not be saved. We need to install Linux Mint by clicking this icon. So we continue the installation. Let's click this. This may take some time. Now it opens a new window for the installation guide. So we choose the language here for our operating system. So we choose English, then continue. Now we have to choose the keyboard layout. We just continue with the default or the recommended layout and continue the installation. Here it says install multimedia codecs. So if we check this, it will help us to play video, some format in this operating system or in this virtual machine. So let's check it. Continue. Since this is a virtual machine, we can select erase disk and install Linux Mint. So this one. This will not affect our base operating system because it is a virtual machine. So let's click continue and proceed. And this time, install now. This may take some time. Right, to change this to disk, let's click continue. So we choose our time zone. So it is the recommended one. Let's continue. Now it opens a new window for user details. We need to set up. So we set up our name, username. So let's just write this Linux Mint. Linux Mint. computer's name, Linux VirtualBox is the recommended one. You can either choose this or not. Let's continue with that. Username, let's pick username, Linux. Choose a password. So just say Linux. Just make it simple for demonstration purposes only. But if you are going to install this for some other purpose, make sure you choose a strong and secure password. However, this is just a demonstration, so let's just proceed with the Linux password. Require my password to log in, continue. So this password, these credentials are required for root privileges. So we need to choose a strong one. However, this is just for demo. Then the computer name is the name used to identify the virtual machine and the network. So since we're naming it as Linux VirtualBox, so this will be identified as Linux VirtualBox in the network. Then click continue. This installation process will most likely take around half an hour to finish. So we can pause the video and just continue it later. So the installation is successful and we have now created our new virtual machine. So instead of continue testing, we can restart now and log into the newly created virtual machine. So let's click restart now. This will reboot and this will remove the installation media. So it shows please remove the installation medium, then press enter. Let's press enter. Now it has restarted and the newly created Linux Mint virtual machine is restarting. You can wait for a few minutes until it is fully booted. Now, it requires us to enter our password in order to log into our machine. So, the password that we have set earlier is Linux Mint. It was Linux. Sorry for the error in there. This is the welcome message. You can just exit this. And now, Linux Mint is successfully installed. Now we can open or use this operating system and do whatever we want. You can have different applications, Bluetooth manager, calendar, calculator, color, date and time, desktops. Everything that we need are already installed. However, we can also install different applications for further use. We can open Firefox. So the installation is successful, and now we can use this new operating system in our VirtualBox as a new virtual machine. Thank you and God bless.